Okay, is there anybody who remembers where we left yesterday? Anyone who remembers where we left yesterday? Yes. Compassion, universe. Anyone else? Yes. And somebody who can be more precise. Okay, how to expand compassion to larger scale or to all the beings, to the infinite beings. Okay, this question. Yes, over there. Ah, okay, it's even more precise. To feel the affection to the beings, what we said yesterday was that to feel affection meaning that your mind feels close. Oh, I feel close to my mom. I feel close to my dad. I feel close to my sister. I feel close to my brother. So when I say close, your mind goes there. Your mind goes closer to the person. So when I say that my mind go closer towards the person, the yes to one person, two, three, that is, yes, it's obvious. We can see that. But what about all the beings? That's not happening. So is there a way by which you can train? Answer is yes. So how to train? We need examples. So example that we found yesterday, who mentioned this, that the one which is most commonly available is the mother and the child. Was that it? Here, Simran. So the mother and the child. And the mother's affection to the child, we cannot really copy that. But the child's affection to the mother developed within a span of 3, 4, 5 years' time. That is something which is very similar. There's some foundation similarity between us not being loving to all the beings and the child, the one the child is born, not loving the mother. So very similar. But the only difference is that the child, within a span of 3 or 5 years' time, develop intense love. Whereas we, all these many years, we do not feel this affection to all the beings because we don't, because something is missing within us. So what is missing? So for that, we were exploring how the child developed this intense affection to the mother within a span of 3, 4, 5 years' time. And the answer is, somebody said, that we get the maximum, that the child sees the mother as a source of benefit. This is what we said. Child sees the source of benefit, and there's the instinct desire for benefit. So the instinct desire for the benefit, and who's able to source of benefit, then the child's mind goes closer there. And then you do it, it's like inertia. It's like inertia, you go the once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, 100 times, then it becomes very spontaneous. This is how the child develops this intense love towards the mother. Okay, if this is how the mechanism by which the child develops this intense love to the mother, then we also don't feel the intense love to all the beings. Like the child, day one, the child is born. So we are like day one, the child is born. Just the child doesn't love the mother. Day one, she's born, he's born. We also don't love all the beings. But what we said is that how the child developed this intense love within the span of 3, 4, 5 years, so that we can emulate this little child's the process by which he or she develops this intense love. So child sees the mother as a source of benefit, and all the beings are seen as the source of benefit for us. Okay, so this is the point. If you can see that all the beings are the source of benefit for us, then no force can stop you from feeling this affection to all the beings. Okay, how many of you are in a way convinced? Reason that's true. If all these steps are being really followed, if you really see that beings, everyone is a source of benefit for me, then my love, my affection will flow to all the beings. Raise hands. Raise hands. Okay, if you're convinced. Very good. Now the question is that, but For the child, yes, it's obvious. The mother's there to provide the benefit. But for me, all the beings, they don't come to offer benefit. They steal my benefit. Okay. So this is where we're going wrong. So this is where we're going wrong. Don't forget this question. So how all one, two, and three, what they said, don't forget this. So what we said is that how to develop this intense love is by seeing that everyone is a source of benefit for you. And the question is, what kind of benefits we get? This question. And be very realistic. Don't be idealistic. Some people say, oh, everybody's so good. I'm the one bad. Everybody's good. This is too idealistic because when you really go through difficulties, then you will give up everything. Will give up that you'll give up on the humanity because you did not start from the ground. You started from the air, in fantasy. That's how you started. So we should be very, very realistic. Very realistic. What is good is good. What is bad is bad. You have to know that. Know that. Then on that basis, by knowing the reality of what is good, bad is bad, terrorist is terrorist, a nasty neighbor is a nasty neighbor. You have to know that. Knowing that, that should not be the reason for you to feel aversion. That should be the source of the, say, zero waste. You know what is zero waste? Net zero. Zero waste. No, no, no. Zero waste concept. What is zero waste? Or will maybe zero following zero waste concept? Yes, Ganeshji. No, no. What is zero waste? What is zero waste? Over there. Huh? Perfect. Be very straight. You're getting it? Be to the point. Say you. Uh, uh, okay, the Ganesh, just let me interrupt here. So first, let us create the flow. Let us create the structure. You're getting once the structure comes, then you say, what is that? What is that wire? You're getting it. So till the structure comes, don't say what is a wire. There may be wire coming up from nowhere, and then the white is yellow and the brown. But there's no clear demarcation. What is it? This will come only after the structure comes. You're getting it. So first, let the structure come. Then the questions, and if you say, you don't have to apologize. Don't think that, or don't say that, oh, I'm not challenging you. Challenge. You're getting it? This is so precious. Of course, whenever you come up with these questions, it's so precious. You may call it question. You may call it clarification. You may call it challenge. It doesn't matter. The thing is that we have to grow. Your questions will be, for example, what you're trying to present is something factual from 1970s in Japan. 7 ways. This is so precise. You're getting it? So precise. So what I'm saying is that whatever question that you have, just refrain it for the time being. The way I think there was a girl yesterday. Was it you? You were there or here? You do very different. Okay. So what I'm saying is that the say first we don't have what is the green one? Where's the green one? Where's the green brochure? So, no. So our class here is not like this. This for whole 1 year. You're getting it? 1 year we have time. So here is just another 6 sessions. Finish. So therefore, let me come up with the first the structure, skeleton. Once the skeleton is done, then whatever question that you have, bring them up. That will be very, very enriching. After, without which, if the skeleton is not there, you come with all the questions. Then the finally, where's the house? You're talking about the wire there, fan there. Where's the house? House is not there. Okay. So for this, say what I'm saying is, so here the attendees, mostly I can see that you're from yesterday. Yes, is there anybody who's new today? One, two, three. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what we say is that this is more like a continuation from where we the left yesterday. But anyway, even those people who come the fresh today, you still will get something. But those who came from yesterday, you see that there's a continuation. Okay, so um, let's not forget this part. What we said is that, say particularly, gentlemen, your name, Kohli. So what Kohli said is that, and then the added to what two of them said, Kohli put it more to the ground, more closest to where we left yesterday. That finally, to develop this universal compassion to all the beings, how the small child develops this affection gradually. Whereas the mother, the child is born, affection is instant. Whereas for the child, it's gradual process. So for us, if we are to cultivate the universal compassion, it should be gradual, not like the mother's affection. So it's very different. So we can copy from the child in the sense that we have to, just as a child develops the affection very gradually to the mother, likewise we can do it only gradual, not like an instant. Today you learn something from me and tomorrow you feel universal compassion. You'll not feel it. Don't expect that. The, okay, so having said this, let us not forget where we left from the yesterday, that how the child develops this affection to the mother gradually is by seeing the mother as a source of benefit. So what we said is that likewise, if there is a way by which we can see all the beings as a sources of benefit for you, then your mind will likewise feel affection to all the beings. So that is known as universal compassion. So when you see universal compassion, all the barriers will dissolve. So what Albert Einstein said, okay. So we read this already yesterday. What Albert Einstein said is that why the crisis in the world is happening, why the crisis in the world is happening, because of our mind imprisoning ourselves, where he said that on the second line, end of second line, he or she experiences themselves, their thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of their consciousness. Continue. This delusion is a prison, a kind of prison for us. Okay, let me read from. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and affection for a few persons nearest to us. So, this is known as delusion. So, creating a division, split, divine between you and others. So, what should we do now? And this is of no benefit for you and for others. You create a barrier means, this is what is a prison? Prison means as a barrier which is around you. And the barrier is we creating it. You and I. The moment I say that I don't like you, I'm creating a barrier because you will not also like me. And then there's a barrier there. I will not dare to go beyond a certain point. So it becomes territorial. And then you get a very small territory. That small territory, prison is a small territory beyond which you cannot go. So you're creating that yourself. So it says, now what should we do? To how to remove this unease? Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion. Widening our circle of compassion not only to your ethnicities, people of your ethnicities, not only to the people of your religion, not only to not only to the human beings, but to all human beings, animals, insects, beyond religion, beyond caste, creed, and even the vegetations, even the nature. So widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. This should be our task. And who said it? Albert Einstein said it, not a religious person. Albert Einstein said it. So with this in mind, so from this we see that, okay, this is something not like religious discourse. This is really Albert Einstein who said it, a physicist, world-renowned physicist. He said it. So this, now the next question is how to widen the circle of compassion to which embraces all the beings across the species, including the animals, vegetations, the whole world, ecology. So how do you do that? This is the question. So let's not forget this, because there are several points to cover, and I have to go according to the. By the way, I'm quite curious. Who designed this? Really? In fact, I'm very impressed. I was going through this. I'm very impressed. Yeah. Ah, that's amazing. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Okay. So when we were together 40 years, perhaps 40 years ago, I was not expecting this little girl to become one like this. Somebody who can design this program. I could not imagine it. She was just 4 or 5 years old then. So I could not imagine this girl one day will become somebody who design like this. This is amazing. I was going through this. I was so impressed. Who must be the brain behind this? Okay. So having said this, um, now this is very important. This is very important. And if possible, those of you who joined only today, I would suggest you that you listen to yesterday's talk. So you see that there's a flow there. So that way you will benefit more out of this. Okay. The next question, my question to you is finally on the philosophy, physics, psychology, music, arts, whatever. So they are for your well-being. Don't forget it. For your well-being, for the well-being of the community, for the well-being of the world. First thing is for your well-being. If I don't say this, some people think that, oh, well-being of the world. Who cares? As long as I'm happy. You getting it? So first is your well-being. Then some people say that, what about others? Then others. Then the world. You getting it? To make sure that everybody feels your responsibility. It's your well-being. All these things, physics, religion, philosophy, all are for your well-being. If it has nothing to do with well-being, just cut it. You know why? Okay. So those of us from I'm not too sure if Ajit Gasanlam has this idea, because she's from the younger generation. For my generation will know this. In Ganesh, you will know this, most likely. Telegraph writing. Telegraph writing? Or how many you don't know telegraph writing? Raise hands. How many don't know what is telegraph writing? Raise hands. Telegraph writing, even including the dean. Which means dean is younger generation. Telegraph writing. Lohena. This is known as telegraph, not telegram. It's different, which means you are younger generation. It's telegraph. Okay, Jack, no idea. Heard of it, not used it. I sent it many times. Each word you have to pay. Each word. So you should be so good in writing it with the economy of words, the message is conveyed. Otherwise, every letter, every not letter, word will cost you 50 paisa. In those days, 50 paisa is today's 500 rupees. So one word, 500 rupees. Is costly? Not costly. Very costly. You're getting it? And then I thought that it's so intrinsic that these are the courses that everybody has to learn from the school. And later, when I finished my high school, joined the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, I came to, in the books of my friends, many junior, younger ones, they show me the English books, telegraph writing is gone. It's gone because it's all replaced by emails. So, which means that telegraph writing has become obsolete, irrelevant, discarded, take out from the course because it's totally irrelevant. What is irrelevant to a well-being? Discarded. You're getting it? So keep in mind that whatever we are learning, this should be for your well-being and then for the well-being of the world. Just think of the great, say, religious teachers like Lord Jesus Christ, how he became so famous, popular. Because he fought for the well-being of the commoners. How many agree with me? Raise hands. For example, like Mahatma Gandhi. How come that he became so popular? He fought for the well-being of the 200 million Indians. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Yes, it's a well-being. You're getting it? So well-being. Even the religious teachers, they came to become one like this or that, because of working for the well-being of the humanity, well-being of the world. So this said, so keep in mind that it should be for your well-being. So for this, we should be very realistic, and from there you build up. Don't start from the air. Okay. So having said this, let me ask you some questions. One question is that, say, there's a light, source of light, and let's say a piece of stone, and both are put under a pitcher, put under two pitchers. One pitcher inside which there is a light, and another pitcher upside down under which there is a piece of stone. And it's totally dark outside. Dark outside. You remove the first pitcher. What happens to the light? It'll spread everywhere. You agree? With the second, you remove the pitcher. What happens to stone? Stone spreads? Spreads or not? Don't think that there must be a magic stone. Don't think like that. Speak what comes to your mind. Spread does not spread. Whether it's in the pitcher, no difference. But for the light, there's a difference. The moment you remove the pitcher, the light spreads. You do not instruct the light to spread. It spreads on its own. Why? Yes. The nature of the light is to spread. The nature of the stone is not to spread. You getting it? So nature of light is to spread. So why the light was not spreading before? Because it was obstructed by the pitcher. You getting it? This is so important. Likewise, our mind. When I say that I feel close to you, Pushkarji, I feel close to Shirikala, the dean. I feel close to you, Siddharth. I feel close to you, Simran, which means that it's spreading. You getting it? Spreading. So where my mind spreads, I like you, two infinite beings. Do you feel that there is a barrier? There's a barrier or no barrier? No barrier. Barrier is the one which suffocates. Barrier is the pitcher. Pitcher which covers the light, which stops the light from flowing. You getting it? So a true nature of your mind, your mind. true nature of my mind is to spread. When it is in the picture, it cannot exhibit its true nature. The light cannot exhibit its true nature. When the moment the picture is removed, then what happens? Obstruction is gone. Then the light will exhibit its true nature, to spread. Likewise, our mind, the true nature of mind is to spread. Why it is not spreading with, spread means my mind flows to close to everybody. Feeling close. Feeling close means affection. To everybody. This is true nature. Unfortunately, why it is not happening? While so much wars are happening, why conflicts are happening in the family, why domestic violence is happening. All these problems, why these are happening, is because that your mind is restricted from exhibiting its true nature by the picture. What is the picture? The barrier that we create. The barrier that we create. What create the barrier? You're thinking about your own well-being, think of your own benefit, and not think of others. But don't force yourself, oh, now I have to benefit others. Don't force yourself. Always do everything logically and that you are convinced. Don't force yourself. Let it happen organically, let it happen joyfully. Let it happen joyfully, let it happen organically. Don't force yourself. Oh, this is what the Buddha said, this is what the God said. No. You have to let these things happen organically, and these things happen joyfully. When there's a joy, you don't feel fatigue. You don't feel burnout. So this is what we should be doing. So likewise, say that let me give an example. And how many of you know that in the cotton companies, company which work on cotton or wool, for example, from Australia, New Zealand, which are so famous for wool. So there, when they export the wool just like 100 kg means huge volume. You agree? And to transport that, how should transport it? Because it covers a huge space. So what they do? Huh? Compressed. They compressed it to make it small, so that easy to transport. And how do they compress? Huh? With the vacuum, and then what? Then the vacuum done, and then you lift and it keeps compressed. Huh? You keep it bound. You first compress it with vacuum and to whatever pressure, and then you keep it bound. How to bind it? Not a rope. It's a metal. It's a metallic wire. Steel. You getting it? Steel, because there's a firmness there. So with the steel, so these are the realities, these are facts. This is how it works in the cotton companies and the woolen companies, wool companies. Okay, now when it reaches the destination, should you keep it like this? Or they have to untie it? Untie it. When you untie it, what happens? People should be you have to cut the metallic wire. Cut the wire. Cut the belt. You have to cut it. When you cut it, human beings should not be nearby. The belt can just move so fast and it should just cut you into pieces. So you should be extremely careful that you are not close by this. You cut it in such a way that you are at a distance. Why the belt moves so fast? Forceful. Why? Because of the wool. Why the wool is behaving like this? Tell me. Huh? Nature of the wool, because the wool in the compressed form, this is not its true nature. Okay, don't disturb. Don't disturb. With the moment you say potential energy, many people will give up. They will leave the class. You're getting it? Potential energy. What is potential? I don't know. Maybe Dean and Dr. Pushkarji may be here. Otherwise, everybody will leave. Then you say kinetic energy. Add. Then people will leave. You're getting it? So the point is that The wool in this compressed form, this is not the true nature of the wool. The moment you cut the wire, the wool will exhibit its true nature. Psh, it expands. Its true nature. Likewise, our mind, the true nature is like this wool. Wool, when cut the metal, when remove the barrier, it expands infinitely. That is feeling close to everybody. But why we are not feeling close? Why this wool, when transported, is so compact? Well, it is not the real nature. Why it is compact? Because it's forcefully bound. Likewise, we are forcefully made to stay inside, not to expand, not to exhibit our true nature of mind. So what is that? What is that known as? That is the picture or the wire which binds us. What is that? The barrier. Okay, how many of you feel suffocated once in a while? You cannot talk to your brother. You cannot talk to your wife. You cannot talk to your husband. You cannot talk to your father, mother, son, and to a neighbor, to your boss. You cannot talk. Everywhere there's conflict. Sometimes, raise hands. Oh, you feel so happy. Now I'm so free. Or you feel suffocated. Tell me. Suffocated. Okay, you have to have that experience. How many do not have this experience? You have to try it once. You have to try it once. Then you will know what is suffocation. You are getting it? Suffocation means it is not your true nature, which means that you are bound by the metallic wire, bound by the barrier. You have created this barrier. So you have to break the barrier so that the mind will exhibit its true nature. Then the moment you start to talk, the moment your mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, they start to talk to you, what happens instantly? Everybody says, happy birthday, right? And then so you realize it's happy. Everybody's smiling. You know, what happens? Your suffocation instantly dissolves. You agree? Okay, those of you who had that experience, you understand what I'm saying. So this is where our true nature of mind is so beautiful. It spreads with ease, where the suffocation dissolves. But we don't feel it now, which means that we are still in the process of being bound by the metal, being bound by some external factors where we cannot exhibit our true nature. So what is that factor which binds us? This question. So for that, so we did, you remember we discussed this yesterday very briefly. Okay, here. So what binds us? Now this is going to be a little technical. It's a little technical. What binds us? What is that barrier which binds us, which binds our mind, and which stops our mind from exhibiting its true nature of expansiveness. When I say expansiveness, don't take it as a, say, poetry. Don't take it as a poetry. I really mean it. For example, like, say, sometimes when you feel so suffocated, you cannot talk to your boss, you cannot talk to your juniors, and you've already, scolded your junior, and the boss scolded you, and then you showed anger to your juniors. Juniors are not talking to you now. Juniors were evading you. The boss disliked you, and you go to your home, and your mother says, "My daughter, what happened? What happened?" Right? And again, your mother cannot talk to you. Your father cannot talk to you. Then the husband said, "No, no, just okay. Let go, let go." What? Let go. Husband, stop talking to you. Wife, stop talking to you. Your children also they stop talking to you. And then finally, you feel so suffocated, and you don't have energy to move. You want a glass of water, and they say you want to call the husband, but you cannot call now. You want to call your mom for the water, and you cannot call. And you feel so helpless, like the whole world turns so gloomy, right? So meaningless, gloomy. And particularly if it is around the winter time in Scandinavian countries. Winter time, cold, wet, every outside, pin drop silent. silence, nobody sound, dark, your mind down. And look at the wall, so still. Even the walls, they're so still. The fan, color dark. Everything is negative. Everything is so negative. You feel so suffocated. And then suddenly everybody says, happy birthday, Jackie, right? Happy birthday, Jackie. Everybody comes smiling, smiling. Suddenly you feel that it's so like something's lifted out. Everything's so beautiful. This dark color is so nice. And the wall is amazing, so elegant. Everything turns out to be so elegant. This is where your mind is exhibiting its true nature. The barriers are all dissolved. You're getting it? So the next question is, how to dissolve the barrier? For this, we need to go through these 3 points. These are not easy. These are not stories. These are not legends. These are all cognitive sharpness, cognitive awareness required. It doesn't mean that, oh, now it becomes technical. No, it's easy as long as you pay interest in this. You're consistently there, you pay attention, you will understand that. Okay, these are the 3 things that we need to work on. So for this, same ontology. What does it mean ontology? What does it mean by psychology? What is meant by epistemology? So therefore, the Buddha's teachings is so rich in the study of the ontology, which is more philosophy, and the study of psychology about your mind, and the epistemology, how the mind interprets the meaning of the ontology, of the reality. So this is so richly explained in Buddhism in order to help us tame our mind, to let our mind go back to its original state, to let the mind manifest its true nature. You're getting it? We all have this incredibly precious the potential to feel the infinite ease. We all have that ease. The seed of the ease is there. We all have it. And if you think that, oh, very complicated, I thought that Buddhism is a nice meditation. Then now in the study ontology, philosophy, psychology, in the first place, what is ontology? I never heard about it. It's very complicated. No. So the reality is that these are for the letting your mind to manifest its true nature. We all have the potential to know everything, potential to feel the infinite ease, potential to stop all the painful tears. Painful tears are all of the barriers, different forms of barriers. So barriers dissolve, all painful tears dissolve. Okay, so we need to know these 3 things. So for this, the first one, let me quickly go through this, each one of them. First, the ontology. Say that, tell me, why there was one scientist who jumped off from his bathtub naked, jumped to the street, said, Eureka. Who was that? Wonderful. Archimedes. Now tell me, how many jumped from the bathtub naked and jumped to the street, say, Eureka? How many said it? No one, but he said it. Why he went to that extreme? Why? Okay, many of you may not have idea who that person is, why he did it. Maybe you can share some light. Why he did it? Exactly. So inside, what is that inside? Discover the buoyancy. You getting it? Discover the buoyancy, which is everyday experience, but we never notice that. He noticed that. He noticed that, and it's very profound. Profound discovery. Profound discovery that made him too excited that the barrier, we stopped him from feeling the awe. That barrier was broken. And then he jumped. He forgot that he was naked. he jumped in straight and said, Eureka. You're getting it? Okay. So why? Because he discovered something which ordinary people's eye cannot see. And he saw something inside, a profound reality. So ontology means a reality, objective reality. And objective reality has many layers. The subtler the reality you discover, more the sense of being, more the sense of achievement, more the sense of accomplishment, more the sense of achievement. You feel so rewarded. So the ontology is the reality, and the reality, objective reality. Objective reality, there are various layers. Okay, so the first one. And what has this to do with our ease? This is extremely important correlation that we have to discover. The first one. Then the psychology. Psychology is, okay, this reality, what makes you know this reality? Your psyche, your mind knows it. Your mind knows it. So this mind knows what the reality is. On that basis, for example, if somebody passes by very cold, and you will also feel reserved. If somebody passes by in a very happy mood, you feel like talking. You're getting it? So how the other person, say, the behaves, and then you accordingly reciprocate. So what is that process? What is that mechanism? It's happening within your mind. It's not happening outside. It's happening within your mind. For this you have to know the psychology, your own mind. Then next question is, what makes you interpret that particular ontology in a particular set by this particular psyche? That is the study of epistemology. So these three things are so important. So now with this in mind, in a way from there, you got a feeling that whether my mind feels the ease, expansive ease, or withdrawn, is all something to do with the knowledge of the ontology. Knowledge of ontology, of lack of knowledge of ontology, or the knowledge of ontology. With knowledge, your mind eases. The lack of knowledge of ontology, your mind shrinks. It feels a suffocation. So these two are connected. And finally, that you want the ease, well-being. Well-being is not just the absence of disease or infirmity, what you and I said. So, say for this, there's a correlation there. Knowing the ontological reality, and your mind feels the ease. To what extent you know the ontology, the reality there, then your mind feels the ease accordingly. And what degree of ease you want? Infinite ease is what you are looking at. If you want it, then you have to know the reality, the deepest. Ontology, you have to know the reality, the deepest. Okay, so now, where all these things are happening? Within your mind. Interpreting ontology, epistemology, is all happening in your mind. How your mind interprets it is happening in your mind. How you see the ontology is in your mind. So something's happening in your mind. For example, like what we see on the screen here, big screen here, actually it's not happening on the screen. It's actually happening in the tiny chip. You agree? Tiny chip in the computer. Okay, only maybe Rajiv knows. Right? Rajiv knows that. Am I correct or not, Rajiv? Tell me. What is happening on the screen is not actually happening on the screen, it's happening on the tiny chip in the computer, yes? Yes. How many agree with Rajiv? And Rajiv, raise hands. How many agree with Rajiv? Yes. It looks like so, oh wow, it's happening in the air, right? Happening in the air. And then if I show the Albert Einstein, wow, beautiful picture of Albert Einstein. It's not really there, it's in the tiny chip. You're getting it? Not in in the form of physical form, like the physical design is in the form of 0 and 1. Maybe the olden style is 0 and 1. So now I say what kind of system coding, I don't know. Even the codings. And coding behind the coding is the mechanism of the electrons, protons. That's it. Okay. So with this, the next thing is that you have to know how the mind works. Your mind works. You're getting it? To really feel the ease, to break this barrier, is all happening within your mind. There's no external barrier. It's an internal barrier. World remains the same. The fan, black color remains the same. Whether you are gloomy, whether you feel gloomy or whether you feel light, but the color remains the same. But when you feel gloomy, The color dark gives you a sense of suffocation. When you feel light, the color dark is aesthetic. Aesthetic, beautiful. So, what is all this? Nothing is outside. All the interpretations happening in the mind. So you have to know what is the mechanism, what is the nature of the mind, how the mind works. Once you know how the mind works, then you can tackle the mind directly. Tackle mind directly. For example, oh, what is this color? Dark color. It's so gloomy. Ashikasala, can we have the white paint, right? No, you don't go to buy the white paint. When you see the white, oh, wow, again it becomes dirty easily, right? Dirty easily. Ajala, can you bring some the detergent or water to wash it? No, just fix your mind. Everything is beautiful, right? Everything is beautiful. Fix your mind. So for that, we have to now know how the mind works. How the mind works. For example, the architects, before they design the structure, what they do, they go to the field trip, to explore the land. What is the geographical location of the land like? What is the landscape like? High, low, and so forth. If it is so steep, don't imagine a flat place, and then it'll be very costly. You're getting it? You should know the reality. So you have to know how the mind works. This is very important. So for that matter, the map of the mind, how the mind works, the map of the mind and mental factors. The mind and mental factors, the map of the mind. You have to know the map of the mind. So, what is mind? Many of you may have the question. I'm not going to discuss it today. We don't have time for that. But if you're interested, during the questions section, feel free to bring this up. Okay. So, the mind, in the first place, to give you a little clue of what the mind is. In the first place, how many of you would say that, yeah, I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel light, I feel so heavy today. How many of you feel that with hands? Yes, you know that is happening. Okay. And how many of you know that, okay, without looking at it, I try to remember the 51 mental factors. I want to remember. So when I say I want to remember what is 51 mental factors, are you sure that you know that something is happening in your mind? I will try to remember how many mental factors? 51 mental 51. I will try to remember. Okay, so you don't utter word, but you know what's going in your mind. You agree? You know what's going in mind. What's going in mind? I'm thinking of wanting to remember the 51 mental factors. Now, if I hand you over to a neuroscientist and I ask him what's going in his mind, if I ask him, he would have no clue. You're getting it? And he will at the most put you under fMRI scan. And there he sees that you are thinking, I like to learn 51 mental factors. Can you see that? He will not see that. He will only see brain waves. He will see the synaptic connections, synaptic firings. That's it. Beyond this, he will not know whatever you are thinking. You're getting it? So, what you know, which the neuroscientist doesn't know, is your mind. Which the neuroscientists can see, which you cannot see. Okay, tell me which part of the neurons is activated when you're thinking, I want to learn 51 mental factors. Which part of the brain is activated? Okay, tell me, what kind of synaptic connections, which kind of neural firings are happening? We have no idea, but neuroscientists can see that under fMRI. What he can see, what we cannot see is your brain. What we know, which he doesn't know, is your mind. You're getting it? And the mind is empirical reality. Empirical reality means not that philosophically somebody says it. For example, like nirvana, you're getting it, nirvana, moksha, and so forth. Said you have to believe in it. If I talk about nirvana just in 2 minutes, you have to believe in it. Besides that, you have no clue. It's not empirical for you at this moment. But the mind is empirical. You understand it? Empirical means you actually have a feel of that. I know I'm thinking, I want to learn what is 51 matter of fact. I want to learn this. I want to know. I want to learn this. I know that I'm thinking of this. I know I'm thinking of my mother. How many agree with me? Raise hands. I know I think of mother, my father, my this, and so forth. Right? Okay. I know this morning I checked the Instagram. Raise hands. I know that I checked the Instagram this morning. Raise hands. 1, 2. Yes, I know. Okay. What is that mind which checked the Instagram? What is that? Is a mind or what is that? It's very interesting. Interesting. Right? Oh, too bad. War, missiles being hit, interceptors. Okay, so this is your mind. This is your mind, which you know is empirical reality. So what we are talking about here is the empirical reality of your mind. So this mind, to know what this subjective mind is, we have to know psychology. So the map of the mind and the mental factors. So you may be wondering why mind and mental factors too. Mind means general, for example, like Auroville. Auroville is a beautiful place. It's so efficient. Auroville in general, that's the mind. Now, if somebody like, let's say from Auroville, let's say Ajgasala, meets somebody in England, wherever, and that person says, you're from Auroville. Auroville is a beautiful place. It's so efficient. Because as she's from Auroville, she may ask precisely which area, Tibetan Pavilion, or what is the other pavilion? International Pavilion? Huh? Is there to come? Small structure is there. Small structure is there. It's not the full structure. So what is the other pavilion? International? Huh? No. Yes. The Indian pavilion is there, right? So which pavilion and which workshop you're talking about so efficient? Oh, I'm talking about I'm talking about let's say, French pavilion, although it's just coming up. That is very efficient. So which means that you are going into the details of Auroville. Likewise, the mind, when you go into the details of the mind, we talk about the mental factors. Mind in general is the mind, and go into the details of the function of the mind, you talk about the mental factors. So mental factors, it's so funny how the mind works. Some people, they're so good in the mathematics, but when it comes to creativity is missing, right? Hopeless. Physics require a little bit of creativity. Some people, they're so good in creativity, aesthetics, with mathematics is zero. Many of you must be that. Lohana, good in mathematics? Okay. So some people may be extremely good in mathematics. The moment you meditate, fall asleep. Very easily. Right? Some people so good meditation, right? Then mathematics or let's say public relation is zero. Creates chaos in public relation. Hopeless. You're gonna get. So why these different is all determined by your thought process, thinking. So mind has incredibly great functions, and how many such functions are there? How many such functions are there? Functions of the mind. Huh? Now, how many such functions are there? How many? Hey, don't read this 51 mental factors. Don't read that. The moment you said 51, maybe he's expecting 51. But I don't agree with this. There are more than this. But he wrote 51. If I say more than this, he may be unhappy. Right? Speak your mind. How many such mental factors do you think are there? For how many such mental functions are there? Huh? 5. How many you say innumerable? Raise hands. Innumerable, that's correct. For example, some people good in aesthetics. Aesthetics. They have the eyes for the aesthetics. It's a mental function. Some people good in focus, but not good in mathematics. Some people good in mathematics, not in aesthetics. Some people good in cooking food. Cooking food. Chefs. Just 1 month, they earn like 10 lakhs of rupees. 10 lakhs rupees per month. Just for cooking food. Chef. Some people are good in designing. And some people good in policy making. And some people good in teaching. So how many such things are there? Innumerable things are there. So innumerable functions are there of the mind. Of these, Buddha at one point, Buddha picked up 51 of those functions, which are more directly related to the spiritual growth, to our mental growth, to the growth of your well-being. Buddha picked up 51 of them. And of these 51, let me quickly share with you on this, say, 5, 5, 11, 6, 24. Let me quickly go in a generic sense. First, the 5 ever present mental factors. This is what I want to go in more detail. And which means that where there's a mind thinking, where there's a mind, these 5 should always be. These 5 functions are always there. The next 5 object determining factors. The moment you are there to say that, okay, today the weather is very pleasant. When you determining factors, when you determine that the weather is very pleasant, or the cool breeze from the fan, when you determine something, there should be another additional 5 mental functions operating together. Then 11 virtuous mental factors, where you generate, say like compassion, virtue. Any virtue arises within you. Any virtue arises within you. There are 11 of them. 11 functions are there accompanying it. And what are these? We can go through them. I'll not go through them in detail for you, but I'll give you this, and you can go through at your own pace. The next, when you become angry, when it disturbs your mind, when it disturbs your whole family, right? So this is very sad. Some children, the moment the child enters the family, enters the house, the parents become stiff. You know what I'm saying? You don't know? Which means you're lucky. Right? Parents become stiff. Mental feels so suffocated and just freeze. And they pretend as though like they're normal. Actually, they're not normal. Mental, they feel frozen when the child enters. Because the child can be extremely destructive, extremely toxic, extremely explosive. Oh, I've seen that. Very demanding. No, demanding is a very tender word. Toxic, physical fighting, abusing. These things are there. When this happens, what happens? How many such destructive mental emotions are there? There are 6 of them, 6 root afflictive mental factors to destroy you and to destroy the environment. The next, what are the subordinate of these 6? There are 20 secondary afflictive mental factors. And there are 4 variable mental factors, which varies. So sometimes they can be positive, sometimes they can be negative. For example, like sleep. How many of you sleep every day? We all sleep. Sleep, is it virtuous, constructive, or destructive? It can be constructive. It can be destructive. It can vary. It can vary. For example, regret. Regret is a mental state. Regret, is it positive or destructive? It can be destructive. If you regret over the bad things you've done, this is virtue. If you regret over the good things that you've done, this is non-virtue. So it varies. So variables are there. So these are the class of 51 mental functions, which you know so well. You will know how to navigate your life very productively. If you're a Hindu, you can remain a beautiful Hindu. If you're a Muslim, you can remain a beautiful Muslim. Knowing all this, how the mind works, you can keep your family intact, harmonious, and let your family grow. Likewise, if you're a Jain, Sikh, or the Baha'i, or Parsi, whatever you're following, or atheist, you remain extremely pure, beautiful atheist, not to destroy the world, but to construct the world. So this is, if you know this well, if you know how to utilize this information properly, you can become an amazing human being who is going to be praised by Lord Jesus. He's going to be praised by Lord Ram, who's going to be praised by Lord Mahavir, or Prophet Muhammad, or Buddha, or or Bhola, or Zoroaster, or Guru Nanak, or the atheist. Everybody will praise you if you can navigate your life by knowing this, having this information complete. This is a benefit. So with this mind, okay, this is very important. Now I'm going to work on the first five. First five. By the way, don't worry. So this, the whole, if you want to take photograph, take photograph. If you want to note down, they make notes, make note. You do that. At the end of the day, I will leave this PowerPoint with Ajika Sala. And by the way, Rajiv has it. He'll make sure that anybody who's interested, you can take from Rajiv. And Ajika Sala will have it archived into a pavilion. Later on, you want to use it, you can take from Ajika Sala. Okay, so let us work on these five. And after 10:30 is the meditation. After 10:30. Meditation starts at 10:30. Okay, so we still have another 13 minutes. So let's say the first five. The first five, how it works. For example, let's say you tell me, what do you see as something destructive which you don't appreciate that is happening in your family or outside the family? Okay, don't bring the politics. You're getting it? Don't bring the politics, otherwise you and me all will be in problem. So bring something which is non-political in nature. Anyone? Something which you don't like. Deforestation, let's say. Here in Oroville or otherwise. Okay, let's otherwise. This is better. I know. Here also it becomes politics. Otherwise it's nice. Amazon is nice. Deforestation, Amazon. Let's say. So that you'll be not in problem, I'll not be in problem. You're getting it? So let me leave peacefully. Okay, so deforestation in Amazon. Okay, for some people, deforestation, there's a joy. You don't know. Though, listen to those people who are selling the woods. They feel the joy. You getting it? They feel the joy. When the government says that deforestation permissible, permission, right? Because there's somebody who requests in government to give the permission. These people feel so happy. People like you, majority of the people who are concerned with the world, ecology, future generations, they are very unhappy. They fully disagree with the government giving the permission, which means, what is that? The Brazil government, right? Okay, giving permission for deforestation of the Amazon. You're getting it? Okay, you're very unhappy, I know. There are many people who are unhappy, I know. Okay, so what is happening? Look, what is happening? Unhappiness. So people, for example, deforestation, mining, excessive mining. So likewise, building dams. To be very, okay, so I don't want to go too much into that. For example, in personal matters, anyone? Some personal matters which you don't like. That's better. Huh? Property disputes. Property disputes. Yes, particularly, say, the two brothers, two sisters, brother, sister. When you're little kids, you're fighting with your uncle. Because uncle and your father, they were two brothers once upon a time. And now you are fighting, now you become uncle. Right? And your sister becomes aunt. And two of you are fighting. And your children, they're saying, oh, my aunt, my aunt. Now they will become aunt one day. They'll fight. Right? First, they're fighting together, fighting collectively against somebody. Now they'll fight, intra-fight. Happens. And this is the world, samsara. Okay. So, under such situation, what is happening? What is happening in your mind? How this is happening? Do you like this? You like the fight? You like the fight? Court case, litigation case, you like it? We don't like it. It's very tiring. It's very tiring. Okay. So, although you don't like it, and then they say, what is really happening? How does it work? What is happening? Why is the litigation case happening? It's all happening in your mind. And what is happening in the chip is reflected in the screen. What is happening in your mind is reflected outside. You're getting it? So it doesn't mean that outside nothing is happening. This is not the meaning. Understand it? What is happening in your mind, that's reflected, if, for example, like, say, from the body language of the person, from the facial expression of the person, you can see the mental state of the person. You're getting it? You can see the mental state of the person. Say, for example, I learned from Namgyala. This morning I learned from him how the coffee was discovered. You getting it? So how the coffee was discovered, I learned it from him. Actually, I must have tasted coffee before he was born. But I learned about how the coffee came into being from him. Right? I should be teaching. He taught me. Okay. So the shepherds. One shepherd noticed that his sheep, they were eating one herbal fruit, beans, eating something, the berries, eating this, and the sheep, they become so active. This is what he noticed. And he also tried it himself. It made him so hyper. It made him so hyper. So, oh, this is good to keep you fresh and you awake. So that gradually, then it becomes more complicated. People learn how to roast it, different degrees, and according to your taste, different degrees of so complications then started. I would say complication, complexities started. Okay, this is the same the what I learned from him. So with this, what I'm saying is that what's happening in your mind, what is seen outside, what is reality outside, it is there. Don't deny this. But what the outside is determined by what's going on in your mind, the chip. What's happening on the screen is actually happening on the tiny chip in the computer. So what is that chip for us? Our mind is a chip. And what is their mind? That is reflected in the outside world. You getting it? Okay. So now the question is, what's going on in your mind? If you study all these 51 mental factors, this would be fascinating. But even if you can study just 5, this would be just amazing. You can just see what's going on in the person's mind, your father's mind, your brother's mind, your wife's mind, your husband's mind. You can see all these things. Your child's mind, you can see that. And particularly if you are a therapist, counselors, you must know this incredibly powerful tool for you to help others in counseling. Okay, so let's say that as you said, say the property disputes. Let me give you this. For example, like dispute is an act of fighting, conflict. So how this act of fighting is happening? Let me give you a very simple example, and then we exercise it to extrapolate it to the other things like disputes and so forth. Okay. First, let's say that you usually get up at, let's say, what? 6 o'clock? Huh? Depends, okay, let's say. Okay. Usually it does not depends. Every day depends. Usually means generally. Ganeshji, what time? If I may ask? No, usually. Usually means not depends. Exceptions are there. Don't remove the exceptions. Okay, do you want to? Okay, huh? Okay, let's say the 5 o'clock. Let's say 5 o'clock. And one day your mom opens door at 4 o'clock when you're in the deep sleep, right? Which means you usually get up at 5, and at 4 o'clock your mom opens the door, and you heard somebody open the door, and it was 4 o'clock. Still you are in deep sleep. Then your mom says, "Happy birthday, my son. Happy birthday, my daughter." You getting it? And you see that your mom is holding something in her hand. You're getting it? But you get up, usually you get up only at 5. 4 means you are in deep sleep. So what will you do? You will not see what the mother is holding clearly. What will you do? You will rub your eyes. Rub your eyes for what? To focus what is that thing in my mom's hands. You're getting it? So first, your eye consciousness comes in contact with your ears, come in contact with what your mom is saying. Happy birthday, my son. Happy birthday, my daughter. Your ears come in contact. The first one is contact. Your ears come in contact with your mom is saying. Your eyes come in contact with your mom, what your mom is holding in her hands. You getting it? Contact. Because that you are in deep sleep, your mind is not too clear. So what do? You rub your eyes. Particularly, you're not so interested in what you hear. You're interested in what your mom is holding. You agree? You agree? Ganesh, you agree? Yeah, very much. Because your mother can say anything, right? You are a Buddha, you're a God, but I don't become God, I don't become Buddha. You're getting it? But what the mother is holding, this is real, right? You're more interested in what your mother is holding. So what your mother is holding, how do you know? With your eyes. So but your eyes are still hazy. So what will you do? You will rub your eyes. Why you rub your eyes? Number 2, to pay attention what the mother is holding, to pay attention. You rub eyes and you see that what the mother is holding is now not iPhone. You see it's brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. You're getting it? That is number 3. What is number 3? Discrimination, discernment. Oh, what my mom is holding in her hand is a brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. What is next? Feeling. What feeling comes? Very joyous feeling comes. You're getting it? Joyous feeling comes. Okay, you like the joyous feeling or not? You want the pleasant feeling or not? You want it. You want to sustain it or not? You want to sustain it for how long? 1 minute, 10 minutes, forever? If possible, forever. You want to sustain it. How to sustain this feeling? How to sustain this feeling? By sustaining the object which triggered the joy. You agree? What is the object that triggered the joy? Mother or the iPhone 17 Pro Max? Which one? iPhone 17 Pro Max. So what will you do? How to sustain this object? By the next intention to grab at it. Right? Grab at it so that it's with you. So that I'll be this pleasant feeling as long as possible is with me. Intention will make your hands to move to grab at the mobile and own it. Okay, next. This is not the full story. This is our story. You grab at it, you say it's a piece of chocolate. You realize it's a piece of chocolate. Then what do? Chocolate, you can get it any time. Mom, why you are yesterday? Why you are spoiling my sleep? Right? Then you throw the chocolate. Okay, look. Now the next episode started. Next episode of the five ever-present manufacturer started. You come in contact with this object now. You see a chocolate. Is it true? Not a mobile. It's a chocolate. You pay attention. Yes, it's a chocolate in the form of mobile case. Discrimination and feeling pleasant. Unpleasant feeling comes. You want the unpleasant feeling or not? You don't want the unpleasant feeling. So what do you do? You will shorten the unpleasant feeling or you will extend the unpleasant feeling? You will shorten it. You will stop the unpleasant feeling. How to stop the unpleasant feeling? By discarding the trigger of the unpleasant feeling. What's the trigger of the unpleasant feeling? This chocolate. You will throw the chocolate. To discard it. Discard it so that the unpleasant feeling should stop. You getting it? So the next intention, you will have the intention to throw the object away so that it will be separated. The trigger of the unpleasant feeling is separated from you. So the unpleasant feeling should stop. You getting it? This is how the mind works. So in all, for example, property disputes, it's a conflict. Conflict is a fight. Fight is an action. Action is because of the intention. Intention to fight, right? And the family reunion, action to embrace. That is the intention to embrace. So all the actions that we talk about, all the karmas, actions that we talk about, is all related to the intention. And that's intention. If you don't want to fight, so why this fight is happening? What is a fight? Fight means you get away from me. This property is mine, not yours. You get away from this property. You push the other away from you. Intention makes you to push the other person away from you. So why this push is happening? To see the other side close to you, what feeling comes? To see the other person of the dispute come close to you, what feeling comes to you? Pleasant, unpleasant? Unpleasant. Why the unpleasant feeling comes to you? Because of the discrimination that he is my competitor. My brother is my competitor. My father, my sister is my competitor. You see that as your competitor. So that discrimination, that the other person is your enemy. So why this discrimination came to you as my enemy? Because of the attention and contact. Attention, contact, they get the information. Get the information that he is trying to steal my property. He is trying to snatch the property. So say the information that you get through the contact with the information and paying attention to the information, then you make your discrimination. You make your decisive thought saying that he is my enemy. So when you say enemy, what feeling comes? Pleasant, unpleasant? Unpleasant feeling comes. And you want it or you don't want it? You don't want that. So you want to terminate this unpleasant feeling. How to terminate this unpleasant feeling? By terminating the stimulus of the unpleasant feeling. What is the stimulus of unpleasant feeling? Your competitor, your brother or sister who is competing for the same property, fighting for the same property. So your intention will push the other person away from you. Okay, so likewise, good things can happen. Now, if you don't want the intention to fight, what should you stop? You stop the unpleasant feeling. You getting it? How to stop the unpleasant feeling? By changing the discrimination. How to change the discrimination? By getting a fuller picture through contact and attention of the fuller picture of the information. Full information. Wise information. Okay, let me give you one example and then we'll stop here for meditation. During the COVID time, usually I go to different centers in Europe and many places. And because of the COVID, I could not go. So they requested if a teaching had been done online. So we did online teaching. So everybody's under lockdown. And at the end of the teaching, it was a teaching for the Italian group. And at the end of the teaching, during the question answer session, one Italian lady asked a question. Okay, you talk about compassion. This is nice. But in practical terms, how should I apply this? It's so gloomy to see everybody under lockdown. So, say for me, I can at the most go to the terrace. From the terrace, when I look down, I see the whole street so empty, so empty, and the otherwise so lively, crowded, the crowded street, and now is so empty. I feel so low, down, gloomy. How does your teaching on compassion help? How will it help? This question asked. So now tell me. Now tell me. Oh, what happened, Rajiv? Oh, yes. Okay, maybe Rajiv did we reset it? Did we reset it? I just stop the day. Okay, it's fine. So let me continue. So now think of these five. What are the five? The first one, contact. Number two, attention. Number three, very good. Number four, number five, very good. Okay, now let's see. This lady is feeling so suffocated, so low. The mind is, the intention with the mind is to reject, to run away from this. Feeling gloomy, low, run away from this. Intention to run away from this scenario, but cannot run because lockdown. So, intention to run away. Why this feeling of running away to get out of this situation? Intention to run away. Intention to go away from the situation. Why? Because of the, what is before that? Feeling, unpleasant feeling is there. Why the unpleasant feeling is coming? Because of the discrimination that otherwise very lively street is so empty and gloomy. That's a discrimination. Why this discrimination came? Because of the contact, eye consciousness, coming in contact with the empty street. You're getting it? Empty street. And the attention to say it's really empty, which is otherwise usually very lively, crowded street. Is it empty? Then the discrimination is yes, it's empty. You getting it? Okay. So how to fix this? Then I told her, are you sure that the street is empty? She says, yes, it's very empty. I said that you are the luckiest person. Okay, when you say, I'm lucky, you're happy, not happy? Hey, tell me. I'm very lucky, you're happy, not happy? Very happy. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? Pleasant feeling. Your mind will embrace or discard it? Embrace, not discard. But in her case, she's discarding it. Discarding it. So I told her that you are very lucky. She said, no, no, I'm not lucky. Look, at the street is very empty, otherwise very lively street. I said, you are very lucky. She said, how? I said that the fact that the street is empty means that these people otherwise who fill up the street, they are carrying the COVID virus. Now that they are not in the street means they are telling you, hey, Maria, don't be afraid of the COVID. We will not bring COVID to you. If you don't believe, go upstairs, look down. It's empty, we are not there. Right? We are not there. We're the carriers of the COVID, we are not there. Right? You feel happy, not happy? Oh, the COVID carriers not there. Happy, not happy? Very happy, pleasant feeling. Oh, it's so lively. Otherwise, usually it's so lively. Now it's very empty, pleasant, unpleasant. Unpleasant feeling. On the other way, discrimination, you change it slightly. It's a cognitive transformation. Cognitively, you change the perspective. Oh, the COVID carriers are all missing there. It's not there. This street is empty of the COVID carriers. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? Pleasant feeling. You like it, you don't like it? You don't like it. I said that you should be thankful to all those people who are not coming on the street, who keep the street empty. Because of them, they are telling you, if somebody comes to knock at the door, hey, Maria, I don't have COVID, you cannot trust. But the person is telling you that I don't bring COVID to you. If you don't believe, I'll not come to you, but you go upstairs, look down, we are not there. So this is how you change your cognitive thinking. And then the feelings will be changed from unpleasant to the pleasant, and your mind will change from rejection to embrace. Embracing is a healing. With embrace, your mental attitude embracing. that reinforces your immunity. When your immunity reinforced, your health comes back. You are less prone to diseases because your immunity fights. So this is how it's so beautiful psychology, study psychology. So this is it. Okay, now let's do 5 minutes meditation. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Huh? Come on, 5 minutes. Okay, ready? 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Tea break.